Did y'all have conversations around kids?
We wanted kids immediately. We tried for 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think I put a lot of stress on myself for it. We went through IVF to have our son, and we got pregnant naturally during that process. We learned about God's timing a lot. I think that was one of the things in our marriage, our wedding, our baby, our house, the final minute, a miracle just comes through. As I get older, I realize you don't know what people go through. We just recently experienced a pregnancy loss, and it was like when you called Reem, that got me out of bed to know that God is still alive and well. And
all right,
I was like, I'm just gonna do this. But like, you don't know.
We there now.
Yeah, we here now.
Yeah.
Oh, you good. You good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. My homie, Kareem and Sandy Virgo. Let me go back. How'd y'all meet?
So we met in college. She came back as an alumni, and I was like, okay, hey, who's that in the blue cardigan? They were like, oh yeah, that's Sandy. She's an alumni. Don't worry about that. I said, what that got to do with me? I don't care.
Tell me she too old for you.
Right. She too old. I'm like, nah, I like him seasoned.
There it is.
And then I found out his age, and that was a no for me.
What's the age difference?
It's 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, did you say you would never date a guy younger than you, period?
No, but he was 20 and I was 25.
Most women feel like they're going to get married younger or whatnot, where we've seen a trend where a lot of women don't. A lot of women like, no, I'm focused on career. At that age, where were you focused on, career or family?
I was focused on my career, and I just wanted to be in a committed relationship.
It's crazy that we get to shoot weddings, because every single wedding that we shoot, we get to just learn something more.
How many weddings do you think y'all shot?
Definitely over 1,000.
Really?
No, definitely way more than that. 'Cause this year alone,
that's just being modest.
Yeah, this year alone we've had over
probably 80.
Yeah.
Did y'all have conversations around kids? The Dear Future Wifey podcast has global impact. From Texas,
I have been on this journey of healing and self-discovery, and this podcast has been a vital part of my process.
Guyana,
God's establishing through you a legacy, a display of freedom found in authentic spirituality.
California,
I've learned so much as a single man through your podcast, and continue to learn so much as now a married man.
Nigeria.
This is just therapy for me. I've been healed. I've been strengthened in my convictions. I've understood how to do singlehood better.
Amsterdam.
The way that you've shown us how it is possible for a man to be as intentional as you are.
New Jersey.
I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate just being able to see that there is life after divorce.
To New York.
I am a single woman, so these episodes really give me hope and courage that God does have a husband for me.
Discover, uncover, and recover love. I'm Lateris R. Whitfield, and this is season 10 of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Lateris R. Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, come on, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Listen, a lot of y'all have been inquiring about the book, Student of Love. It's going to be released in a couple of months. And so I want y'all to make sure that matter of fact, just watch this promo video right now. I was married, cheated, flunked out of marriage. These eyes have seen the pain of failure, but also the possibility of redemption. These ears have heard the lies. You'll never change. But they've also caught the whisper of truth. Lateris, you can learn love on a level you've never known. This finger once carried a vow I wasn't ready to honor. Today is empty, but it's unashamed. It's waiting on a covenant I'll protect with wisdom. Will you marry me? I'm no expert. I'm just a fellow student. I've sat in love's classroom, even spent time in detention, but now I live with intention. That's why I wrote Student of Love, because learning love never ends. Sit next to me and cheat off of my paper. Cheat? Tony, should I use a better word? Let's just cut to the chase. Pre-order this book and start the journey on becoming a true student of love. Class is now in session. So this book was birthed out of my journey as I discover, uncover, and recover love. And I thank God so much for Dr. Gary Chapman. Y'all know him, the writer of the 5 Love Languages. He saw the value in the book where he did the foreword to the book. And so I never, ever, ever take God's kindness and mercy for granted that his book sold 20 million copies, been around for 30 years. And so I just thank God that when he read this book, he said, okay, I don't put my name on just anything. I want to put my name on this book because I believe that this book is going to change the world. So make sure that you pre-order this book. Some of y'all may be like, well, why can't I just wait when the book comes out? Well, buying the book early lets not only the publisher know that this book is highly anticipated, but also all the outlets, the Walmarts, the big box stores say, okay, let's go ahead and pre-order a lot of these books because we know they're going to be flying off the shelf. So go ahead, get the book. Thank y'all in advance for those who have already ordered the book. Today's episode is very near and dear to me because some of y'all may know that I started out doing wedding photography and I loved it. I love being a part of people's special day, capturing those moments that will live for a lifetime. And this couple is gonna also be shooting the photography for our wedding. Video and photography, as a matter of fact. And so I believe that they're gonna hold a sacred place in my life for years to come. So without further ado, welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. My homie Kareem and Sandy Virgo are on the yellow couch.
Hey!
Yes, sir.
I can't believe I am on the yellow couch.
So did you know about Dear Future Wifey podcast prior to me inviting y'all?
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
What did you know about? What is it? Did you only know about the wig falling off somebody's head?
I'm not gonna lie.
That's part of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I mean,
that was a great first impression though for us.
Why?
It's just, well, first of all, the young lady, Whitney, she's hilarious. We love everything that she does. She's so funny. So when that happened, when we saw that clip, mainly from her, and it was just so funny. I just kept watching it, sharing it, and then it made me want to know more about the podcast, of course. And I see your face all the time, honestly, on my feed, and just the amazing couples that you've had on here, the amazing stories. So even when you brought this to Kareem and he told me about it, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, Sandy. If your wig fell off, would you allow me to post it?
You know what?
Kareem said, yeah, absolutely.
Probably at first, no, but you know, it's a real thing. It happens. That hasn't happened to me yet, and this is not a wig, so I made sure that didn't happen today.
Okay, all right. And so that's what the podcast is about, is being transparent and vulnerable. And so I didn't expect that to happen, and when it did, I was like, okay. And I authentically laughed from my soul. You understand me? I laughed from the pit of my soul. Let me ask you this. How long have y'all been married?
7 years next month.
Next month, October the 14th, will make it 7 years.
Yep.
Now, they say, statistics show, and I did a TED Talk about this, is around the 7-year mark, couples have a tendency to regret their decisions of marriage. It's called the 7-year itch. Have y'all experienced that?
I would say no.
No, yeah.
But I can.
Kareem was waiting for you to answer first.
Yeah, I was
he
like,
said, I would say, and he waited for you to say no. He said no.
Like, tell him. So whatever you say, I'm.
And we might do that a lot. We might pause and wait for each other to answer. But I would say I understand why couples may have a 7-year itch. Thankfully, no. Definitely on my end, no, because I married my best friend, and honestly, from the day we said I do, we've been tested a lot since the beginning, and we just seem to overcome every test.
That's good.
And God is just ceases to amaze me every day in this marriage, and we just look forward to so many things that just keeps happening in our marriage.
Yeah,
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Reem, what has your journey been like? When you say 7 years, when you look back over what God did, what comes to mind?
Man, I mean, I always knew I wanted to be married. So when people say, 7-year mark, make sure, you be careful because 7 years is going to be a little bit tough. I'm like, really? I mean, there's really no difference between being married and unmarried because this is the person that I knew I wanted.
You knew it.
So it's not going to make any difference because I knew I wanted her. So I don't think it made any difference.
So let me ask you this. How long did y'all date before you knew that she was the one?
How long we dated? 2 years?
We dated for 2.5 years.
2.5 years,
When
yep.
did you know I was the one?
Yeah, ask him again, Sandy. Ask him again, because he didn't hear the question.
Right. You kind of just know, you know.
First date, second date, 5 months later. When did you feel like, oh, she is my forever? She's not like any other girl that I've dated that it has an expiration date. This is the woman I can see myself doing life with.
Like I said, you kind of just, you really just know that she's the one because nothing else really matters at that point.
What point? First date, second date, first month, Reem?
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like how, like at what point is it?
So let me go back. How'd y'all meet?
Okay, let's backtrack.
We're gonna backtrack. How'd
okay.
y'all meet?
Okay, let's backtrack. So we met in college.
Okay.
I was an undergrad. She was
An alumni.
Okay.
And I was going through a fraternity process at the time. And she came back as an alumni to visit. And I was like, okay, hey, who's that in the blue cardigan? They were like, oh, yeah, that's Sandy. She's an alumni. Don't worry about that. I said, what that got to do with me? I don't care.
Tom, she too old for you.
Right. She too old. I'm like, nah, you know, I like them seasoned. You know what I'm saying? So I already had my mind set on her. She probably didn't really understand that, but I already had my mindset on her. And it wasn't until a alumni event a couple weeks later, and I saw her again, and I was like, oh, there she go again. See, must have been meant to be.
So the first time you didn't go approach her.
No.
You just inquired.
So because we were in a business fraternity, so I was invited to come. It was a fashion show event. At that time I was modeling, doing a little. So they wanted, alumni to be there. So I had seen a picture of him and I was like, oh, who's this guy? They were like, word on the street was that he was very professional. There was people talking about him. So I approached him just as I approached all the other people that was
So it's talking about him positive in the positive light.
Yes. So because he was going through a process, he couldn't really
talk to me.
Yeah. He kind of kept it. He called me Miss Isaac. That was my name at the time.
I didn't want to be disrespectful,
And I was like, he too professional. He too serious. And then I found out his age. And that was a no for me.
What's the age difference?
It's 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, did you say you would never date a guy younger than you, period?
No, but he was 20 and I was 25.
So what was the age in your mind? Did you even have that in your mind?
So just by people that I dated prior, they were just older. I think that's just normal for women to date, older. And I think I had already graduated. Fresh sophomore. I don't even know what he was. I was like
junior or something.
He appeared to be very professional and older and mature. And I found out later that really was who he was. And I just kind of put him I was like, no, we're going to be friends. He needs to have experiences. He needs to, go through life. And I just don't think I wanted to deal with that. So we were just friends for a whole year before.
Oh, so a year. Yeah, like it was a long time. He wore you down, huh? We were just friends for a year. Yeah. You're still 21.
It was honestly me. I remember Googling older like Gabriel Union, Dwayne Wade, all these different couples, and I was
trying
just
to find some pieces.
You was trying to put two and two together.
We were best friends. Every night, he was the person I wanted to wake up talking to, go to sleep, talk to before I went to sleep. And I just realized that age was just a number, especially him.
That's what Leah said.
And especially as we get older now, our age is just
don't even matter.
It flipped because now I'm his age, he's my age.
Right? Yeah. People think she's everybody. Yeah. People think she's 31 and I'm.
Because I didn't know that she was older than you. That's the crazy thing about it. All right, so then look at this then. And so y'all dated while y'all were just friends. Were y'all dating other people?
Yes, I was.
And then how did you feel when you heard her talk about other guys?
I was like, what that got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. You're going through your dating phase. I understand. But it ain't nothing serious.
And were you dating other people?
At the time, was I? I was.
Look at her.
Yeah.
I remember she's about to say her name, but I'm trying to
she's like, Tell him.
But honestly, there was no.
I know y'all just friends.
We were just friends, and
Yep.
I
We was
of
having
course,
fun.
I
Yeah.
definitely started to build feelings, but I wasn't going to. I had to stick to my plan at the time. Yeah, he was too young. He needed to go through life, and I learned so much from him. Honestly, even in our 20s. And he just was so mature, had so many life experiences that I didn't have, and vice versa. I just think we just molded perfectly.
I think I kind of loved that she thought I was so young that she couldn't take me serious, because it gave me something to prove.
That part.
You know, I was like, you know what? Okay,
I'm gonna show
age
you.
ain't nothing but a number. Yeah. Yep.
So even while you got, would you say that he was friend zoned, or there was still some little hope?
No, there's
Because
definitely
you get a little jealous. You said you was catching feelings.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think it's just natural. If you become friends with somebody, they make you laugh, and then you see their character. He was a good person. Always had a good heart, kind heart. We weren't on the same page spiritually, honestly, and I don't think I even talked to him spiritually at all about God and things like where I stood at that point. It wasn't until we got into a relationship, and maybe like a year in, I was like, "You a Christian?"
I done got in a relationship with you.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
What do you believe in? Like,
Kareem, what was you believing in at the time?
I think she thought that I don't think she knew what I believed in.
So you were never out loud with your faith,
right? Exactly.
You were just kind of like, what did you believe in at the time?
Right. I was a Christian.
Okay.
I mean, still am, but like,
I was.
You're right. Was crazy, but still am Christian. But I don't think she really understood it because we didn't have that type of relationship.
Yeah, you didn't go to church. You didn't have like a home church.
It was just more so like I think it was more so just a friendship and just like a lust type situation. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like what do you actually believe in? What is your faith beliefs? You know, stuff like that. So
you said a lust situation.
Yep. Yep.
So y'all friends with benefits?
No, not really.
No.
This was. I think when we started, it just was like we just had an attraction for each other, and because I didn't see him in that light yet, I knew I liked him. I just didn't envision him as my husband at that point until we got into a serious relationship and we started having those conversations.
So you was focused on a husband during that time. At 25, you were like, I want to be married.
Yes, because I was like about to get my master's degree. I don't know. I guess
it goes.
Women our minds are just really fast when it comes to that. But he honestly always wanted to be married as well.
So you were talking marriage. You were talking marriage at 21. I know you said you've always wanted to get married, but you're talking about in college. You were focused on marriage.
At some point, for sure. I was like, I knew I wanted to get married. I was like, I want to get married by 25.
Really?
Yeah. I always told her.
Mm-hmm, yep.
So y'all got married at what age?
He was 25.
I was 25.
25. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did anybody tell y'all getting married too young?
Well, I was older, so no.
Well, I mean him.
Him?
I just think
everyone thinks he's older than what he was.
That's the thing too. Yeah. A lot of people think I'm older than what I am, like at whatever level I was, high school, middle school, whatever. So I don't think it was a surprise to anybody.
So you're 32 or 31?
Yep, 32.
You're 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so at 25, your parents didn't say, come on now, you got more life to live. You rushing this.
I told him when I was like 9. I was like, I need to move out. Like, y'all, this is taking too long. Like,
How do I get out of here? That's one of the funniest stories I ever heard. And he was so serious. He's like, he packed his bag, told his parents he was out.
I packed up all my toys and my and my little Hot Wheels and all that stuff. I said, look, I'm done. Like,
so what was stressing you out, Kareem? What was stressing you out at that age that you're gonna move out?
I don't know. I think I was just older beyond my years.
You said you was done? You was done with this?
I was like, look, I love y'all, but I gotta go. Yeah. Hey, man.
Kareem.
What time college start? You know?
Where you going, Kareem?
College. I need my master's. Like, this is taking too long.
I'm tired of this.
Yep.
So they were used to you always being ahead of your age, like you ready for the next level. So marriage didn't shock them at all at 25.
I think so.
Did anybody tell you like, oh, he's too young, you're marrying him too young and all that?
You know, all my friends loved him. And of course they had the same concerns when we first met. But once they got to know him, and he he showed himself like very early on in his career how well he did. So Reem studied accounting, and he got into amazing internships, had great job offers. So even though we had that age difference, like he was always responsible, always had his own place. Like I grew up Caribbean. I'm a daughter of Haitian immigrants.
Oh, you Haitian?
Yeah. So I was home. Like my parents always took care of me. Even though I had a lot on my dreams, I had my education, but I was more sheltered than he was. He definitely had more experience at being outside of the house and having those things.
Really? Mm-hmm. And so, but they welcomed him. They was just like, hey, we put our blessings on this.
Yes, yes.
Is there any type of traditions that y'all have as Haitians when you bring a person home to say that this person is intentional to marry you?
So my father had passed away already at that point, so he never got to meet my dad. But my mom just told her I have a boyfriend, and she was happy because again, it was like, when am I gonna have grandkids? When are you gonna be married?
Are you rushing it already as soon as you said?
Yes.
So when I'm gonna have a grandbaby, he's like, good Lord, I just told you it's my boyfriend. Can we start? I'm trying to get to see if we're gonna get married. Can we just start there? When y'all gonna have grandkids? Do you feel pressure? I know you said most women feel like they're going to get married younger or whatnot, where we've seen a trend where a lot of women don't. A lot of women like, no, I'm focused on career. At that age, at 25, where were you focused on, career or family?
Me at 25, I was focused on my career, and I just wanted to be in a committed relationship. I had bad experiences prior to him, and I just didn't want to be with somebody that I knew wasn't going to be serious. I wanted whoever I was going to meet around that time to be the one.
And what about you, Reem?
I didn't have bad experiences. I was just in the streets. I was just. I didn't have. I think your relationships were more serious than mine were.
Yeah.
So I think that allowed you to feel like, okay, I need to be, committed to someone who really understands what I have going on. On the flip side, I think I was just dealing with stuff that I knew that I didn't want to have, and because of that, I knew that if I came across the right person, this is what I wanted. And because meeting Sandy, I knew right out the bat that she was just the one, because everyone else didn't take it serious.
So I'm about to ask you, so do you think subconsciously you were comparing other girls that you were meeting around that time to Sandy?
I think so. I think in a way, I knew Sandy before I even met her.
Exactly. Ooh,
right?
You said before you even met her.
Yeah.
Explain that. Talk, you stepping heavy now.
I know. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, that's why I said streets, because I don't mean streets like, I was like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but like when I met Sandy and I finally got to meet her, it's like it was just a breath of fresh air. And it just opened my eyes to what I knew, what I wanted in a wife. And
what you knew you wanted in a wife.
Yeah.
What do you think hearing that?
I believe it.
Yeah.
And again, at the time, maybe we didn't have the best words to say, but Kareem was really big on breaking generational curses.
That's good.
Not repeating the same mistakes that, he saw, he witnessed. That's why he wanted to leave at 9 years old, because I think he just knew that he could be the change in his family, and he really was, and he still is. And I think that aligned with me so perfectly. And it wasn't until we were maybe a year and a half, and I asked him that question. I was like, I know you believe in God. I know you have a good heart, but like, what's your spiritual life? Like, and we made a lot of changes. Like, I want to say a year before we got engaged, and I knew he was the one for sure. Because I started getting, like, I remember I met him. We had a great relationship, fun, good guy, very ambitious. But spiritually, I was like, I grew up in the church. I grew up, I wanted a man that was going to speak in tongues and pray. And Reem necessarily isn't exactly what I pictured.
And my family didn't kind of raise me that way. So,
But you were raised in church, or you wasn't?
Not really.
He just went to church with his grandmother.
I went to church with,
but
I went
like,
to church like my grandma, but go ahead.
But the experience I had, like Holy
Laying
Ghost
hands,
filled,
falling out in
falling
spirit.
out, my mom, yeah, all of those things. Like that was the first time he ever witnessed things like that. So he just was so open to growing his faith, and once I saw that, I was like, that's
good.
The
And so Kareem, how did you? Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna just add on, like, you know, even though my family wasn't so strong on that and on their faith and all that good stuff, I think sometimes faith finds you as opposed to you finding, you know, the faith. And that's another big point of why I think finding Sandy was something that was meant for me in my life, because even though it wasn't something that I had in my family growing up, she introduced that to me.
That's good.
And it wasn't because I didn't believe in God or nothing like that.
Wasn't introduced to it.
It's just I was just introduced to it more from her. And that opened my eyes more. So
how did you feel when you saw that for the first time? People speaking in tongues and falling all out in the spirit. Were you like, oh, these people doing too much, they weirdos? Or were you like, I need that?
Not at all. Like it was something that really opened my eyes, and I was like, man, this is absolutely beautiful.
Good.
You know, and whether or not it's people doing it for show or people really feeling convicted by the Spirit,
right,
that's not up to me.
Absolutely.
You know, that's up to them and how they feel, and if they truly feel the Holy Spirit, that's up to them. I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was just a great thing.
What generational curse were you wanting to break or are breaking that you saw growing up?
I think it was our outlook of money. That's why I went to school for accounting and wanted to be a CPA. You know, I wanted to have my own practice and do taxes and all that good stuff. But God had other plans and said, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and be a wedding photographer?
How'd that come about?
You know, so I was in, this is 2015 now. I was just about finishing my degree in accounting, and a friend of mine asked me to come and help him take pictures at a photo shoot. And I was like, all right, cool, no problem. And it was just so much fun. I had a great time just taking pictures with him. But that same year, that's when me and Sandy started to get talking, and we got acquainted, and I was a +1 at a wedding with her.
His first ever wedding. He never went to a wedding
2015.
ever.
2015, right?
Never went to, and I was...
So you brought your homeboy to the wedding?
Yeah.
We were dating at that point. We were together.
We was pretty much dating. We were,
okay.
Yeah.
Were we at the, what are we?
So we met.
What are we speaking?
Yeah. We met 2013 and 2014 was when we became official. We were together at least a year and a half at that point. Mm-hmm. Yep. It was the beginning of 2015.
So you take somebody to a wedding, it gets real serious.
Yes. But these were mutual friends. So like.
Okay, y'all both. Okay.
We both. But this was his first time ever at a wedding.
Ever.
Never been to a wedding. And I was very familiar. I was a bridesmaid 100 times. Flower girl, everything. So we're sitting at the wedding. He's like, so why, like, you can't just, I think your parents went to the courthouse, right?
Yeah.
They just had a very small
courthouse
set.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And my parents had a big wedding back in 1986. So I knew I always wanted a big wedding, but he knew nothing about weddings. So we're sitting at this wedding. He's like, okay, so what's next? What they about to do? Why is there so many things that
next
happen?
is the reception.
And how much does this cost? I'm like, this one might cost like $10,000, $12,000. He's like, what? People spend that just to say you my wife, I'm like, yeah, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when he got into capturing love stories, of course, and then himself falling in love and seeing how the wedding is more than just I love you, or it's a public declaration of your love with family and friends, he started to really like, oh no, this I want to do this.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money at all. It just seeing the photographer shoot it and the amount of pressure that is on them for that wedding day as well. Yeah. Like to capture a full day, I was like, okay, this is something I think I can do. You know, this kind of cool.
And to be creative, like how can I be creative differently? Like each wedding is a different thing. So it was fun for you. For sure.
No, I loved it. I loved it. So I went on this app called Thumbtack.
Yep.
You know about Thumbtack,
I know about Thumbtack,
and then you get like different bookings. And I think my first wedding was $200.
Yep.
And they loved the pictures, and I was like, okay, I think.
So you went and bought your camera, use your friend's camera.
I bought a camera.
Okay.
The same camera he had.
What camera was it?
T3i. Canon.
You got to start off with that. Yeah.
Wait, what are you, by the way?
Like $700 camera.
Team, what are you? Canon?
I'm
Yeah,
Canon.
what are you?
I'm
Okay,
Canon.
okay.
Okay, cool.
You see all the, that's a 5D Mark IV over there, and then there's a EOS R over there.
Yep.
You know, I got to have EF lenses. All of these are sitting on those Black Magics and all that. So
Yep.
So what are y'all team? What?
Canon.
Okay,
Canon.
I'm about to say.
Nikon too, you know, so we kind of have a Nikon thing going on as well.
Okay.
So people are a little confused, you know, but you know.
So y'all would use both of them at a wedding?
I would, yeah.
You'll use a Nikon and a Canon to shoot photography, or you'll use one of them for video and then use the other one for photography?
I would use, so for me, I would use both for photography. But the team mostly use Canon and Sony.
Yeah. I know it's always that Sony and Canon battle.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we still equally yoked. Keep talking.
So, that's how we got started.
Yeah, pretty much in the photography space.
And you shot your first wedding, and what did you feel about the work that you did at your first wedding?
Man,
client
I
liked
mean,
it.
at the time, I was like, you know, this is great.
This is where we
think I did a good
insert
job.
his first picture compared to.
But then I look back from like now, and I'm
it's a
like,
whole different level.
man, thank you for hiring me.
And how many? He said, "Thank you."
I appreciate you.
Well, it's only 200. So at the end of the day, that was how many years ago?
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10.
So this is your 10-year anniversary?
Yes, it is. It is.
What month did you start?
October.
So October be your 10-year anniversary.
October 17th.
Yep.
Wow, almost to the day of your wedding.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yep.
Your wedding photography business jumped off almost a day, 3 days apart from when y'all said y'all vows and got married.
Yep.
And we got married in 2018.
And then you started photography in what year?
2015.
2015.
Yeah, so 3 years later, 3 days later.
Yep. Yep.
3 years and 3 days will always be the whole thing. And so when you, what did you hear? What did you think when he came back and told you, hey, you know, I shot my first wedding. You knew about him going there. What did you think about it?
Once he picked up the camera, because I witnessed like the whole thing.
The whole
and
evolution of it.
I just thought photography was just going to be a hobby. Accounting was the thing he had his mindset on, and has to learn about money and helping his parents learn about money. Everybody, that was his thing. So I just thought photography was a hobby.
A little side hustle.
Yeah. And at the time I was doing modeling back in South Florida. So I was doing like runway and photo shoots. So I would just help him like pose if this wasn't like weddings yet. It was just like, if you need to pose a model or whatever. So I just kind of gave him my insight. But once we got into the wedding space, that's when we the both of us working together, it just fit like a glove. It was like perfect. And I do take pictures, but it was more so me posing people and just being that third eye for him. And it was just seamless.
Yeah, because one thing I hate doing is posing, and one thing I hate doing when I was a photographer is posing people.
Yeah?
I'd be like, y'all
That's our favorite thing to do.
You ain't like posing people?
No, I suck at that.
Really?
I bring Rihanna modeled and stuff like that. I said, Rihanna, come
help out.
Pose people. Yeah, because she real good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Me, I suck. I'd be like, I don't know, just stand there. I don't know. I don't like the way you stand there. Stand another way.
Yeah.
And the couple
Be cute.
sometimes.
Be cute.
Yeah, the couple too. It just depends on. It's hard. It could be harder for certain people to pose, and we always ask them to just be in their natural element, and then we work around that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually love it. I
love it.
I love directing couples and just kind of getting a feel of them. Just guiding them and helping them pose.
No, I've seen you at work. That's one of the things I said, this joker good. He is so doggone good. I was just sitting there, you're like, yeah, stand right there. Now turn right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Hold his head.
Hold your hand like that. Right there.
Yeah, right there.
All right, cool. And then I was like, he'd be so relaxed. I'd be like, hey, stand up. I'd be stressing out.
No, his personality is so
relaxed.
chill.
I'd be like, he don't be sweating. He'd be chilling.
I really,
I come back and be sweat running all down my arm or whatever. When I shoot weddings, I can do it.
Fire. Everything could be on fire. And Reem is just like, all right, let's use the flame stand right there.
Yeah. Then shoot through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it.
Smoke pass by like
get that shot. Thank you.
Right.
Be a money shot. Bride magazine.
Hold it. Right there. Love it.
That's what I was watching. I said, he's so calm as a photographer. And I'm telling you, photography, when you're shooting a wedding, and then one of the things I respect a lot, as you were talking about in the video that I was watching, was that you know, sometimes a photographer can be overbearing and just take up all the shots, and the videographer is kind of shooting around the photographer. You like, you know, what I do is, you know, I get my shots and I sit back and tell people to pose for the videographer and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, because I remember when I used to shoot more of the video side. And in doing that, it was like, I feel like I'm just shooting the B-roll of the photographer. And I was like, I can't stand that. I was like, why are you hogging up everything? Can you stop and let me get some shots? And then I'm getting kind of leftovers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that happens.
Because truthfully speaking, videography, especially when I started out doing it, was a afterthought. Like it was straight afterthought. It was like, hey, we got photography. And I was like, hey, why don't you get videography? It's like, why do I need that?
Yeah.
I said, don't you want to hear what you did on your
For sure. Yeah.
I said, are you getting this a photo? Don't you want to hear this? Like, I don't have no money for that. I used to be like, what you got? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, seriously.
$500, I'll take it. I'm just going to do it. And I would just do it just so I could build a portfolio to be like, man, and then they'd be like, oh my God, now I can relive these moments over and over again. And I was like, yeah. But then I'm telling you, back then, no one cared. I remember I shot, me and my friend, Tony Pettifer, he's one of the groomsmen in my wedding. He and I started a video photography wedding company called One Knot Photography. And I was sitting at a dinner table with Kurt Franklin. That's a good friend of mine. And I was like, hey, listen, his daughter was getting married, Carrington. And I was like, hey, did you book anybody to do videography? She was like, no. She said, do I need videography? I said, yes.
Sure do.
What happened? She was naming all the people that were singing. She said, we're going to have Brian McKnight singing. We have Yolanda Adams. We got Donnie McClurkin. She was naming all that, Chrisette Michelle. She was naming these people. And I said, are y'all doing videos? She said, no, just photography. I said, no one's going to hear these people singing. She was like, I don't have no budget for it. I said, man, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
I will shoot your wedding for free. That would be the biggest, portfolio. Here it is. Man, we went out there, but we had a 14 people. We was shooting that doggone thing. We was shooting like crazy drone shots on the balcony. We was doing all kind of stuff. And the video that we dropped went viral with him and his daughter Carrington doing this. The first dance with father and daughter dance went super viral. Got like 500,000 views in like 8 hours or whatnot. And she was like, thank you for talking me into that. And then for every major moment in their lives, their first child, first kid, I shot the first birthday party and all that stuff. But what I love about photographers is that you get a chance to be embedded in the story of the client. And it doesn't just become a client. Like I was telling my fiance, I was like, well, Reem, they just, the Virgo's gonna be family now at this point because you're gonna be in intimate spaces with us. You're gonna be in moments that is the beginning of our covenant. And share spaces where you capture it, and what you capture is going to allow us not only to relive that moment, but for people that wasn't in these sacred spaces in our groom suite or bridal suite, you're going to be able to capture these intimate moments where people get a chance to look at it and be, you know what I'm saying? Those moments. And that's why I say I never take that for granted. And I never take photographers, especially those with a skill set like yours, I never take that for granted. So thank you.
Man, that's such a great point, man. Because we're there with y'all the entire day.
Yeah.
Right. We're one of the only people who are there with y'all the entire day.
Sun up to sundown.
You getting ready, sun up to sundown, all that good stuff. And you keep saying a reliving.
Yeah.
I had to plug that in there real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because Reem actually stands for reliving each and every moment.
Oh, so you broke the acronym with your name.
Yeah, and Sandy came up with it. Yeah.
See, that's why you got to have a good wife with you.
You know
See,
what I'm
there it is.
He who finds a wife.
Finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
So you came up with that. What made you decide to make his name an acronym?
He had different business names. First one being
How much business name I had?
Irie Expressions, I Express, I don't know, all these types of things.
I was trying to find my way.
And people just started calling him Reem.
Yeah.
And no one called you Reem growing up. That was just something that came up in college and all that stuff. So he was like, I think I like Reem. And I was like, but Reem got to mean something. Like, it has to mean something. And immediately, and we work like that. Like, a lot of the ideas.
When we go for our walks.
He starts it. I come in, I put my little sprinkle on there, and then it just takes off. It just takes off.
How do you feel when y'all first saw that, though? Like, a lot of times, I always say that God allowed me to rediscover what marriage is, and not just husband and wife, but to be purpose partners. And you see it in 3D with you guys, because y'all could have different careers doing whatever y'all do, but y'all are serving purpose together. How does it feel on both y'all's end? I'm gonna start off with Reem, is that you have your purpose partner that she says that you can have an idea and she'll take that seed and bring a whole baby. How do you feel about that?
Man, I don't think this would have worked if we didn't have that dynamic. I think she believed in the vision I had for everything from the get-go. And if we didn't have that, I don't know if this would have even worked. You know what I'm saying? So because she knew and saw the vision that I had for me being a photographer, that was all the confirmation I needed. Because when I quit my job, I didn't even put in my 2 weeks notice.
Really?
I just left.
In the middle wedding planning.
And she was like,
"Oh, what, your wedding planning?"
Of our wedding planning, yeah. And she was like, "Look, let's pray on it, and if you're really serious about this, let's just put in that work." And I was like, "Bet." And that was it.
But she was like, "Hold on, I say just quit that quick." I told you.
Yeah.
He called me. It was not even 9 o'clock. It was like, it probably was like 9:05.
I didn't even clock in yet.
And he was in the car, and he was like, "I can't." He said, "I physically cannot get out of this car."
I spiritually couldn't, and I physically couldn't.
He spent all the hours editing photos and website, everything anyways. So I said, you're not gonna embarrass me with this wedding. Like, you're not. Like, if you gonna quit your job,
I'm out.
You need to
go in.
Like, you need to go in. And I knew he had it in him. And it was the thing he needed, because we had a wedding. Like, we had a 300 guest wedding like that.
That was low-key confirmation that I needed, though. Yeah. I just needed some sort of confirmation.
When she said that?
Yeah, I was like, if you can just confirm that I can go and put this work in.
Really?
I'm out.
And then October, 2 weeks before our wedding, like, it was like, oh, that's my husband.
I did,
like,
yeah.
Oh, we gonna be good. Like, oh my God.
When you brought home the bag.
Like, he brought, like,
I mean, we did like 10 free shoots.
Yeah.
Like just free photo shoots for different couples, just to put the work out there.
Portfolio, yeah. Get that website looking
right.
poppin'.
Because people be like, oh, nobody's booking me. Well,
nobody can see your work.
Right. Why would I come to your store if there's nothing on the shelves?
Yeah, no clothes in there.
Yeah, nothing in there. So we just started putting out a bunch of free work, and a lot of people gave us good feedback, and people just saw that we do weddings as well, and it just came from it. Yeah.
Well, I remember when we were about to get that year, like, we were engaged, planning the wedding. I made about $60K. Reem made about $40, $50K. I was like, if we can get to $100K, we're good. Like, that's above anything we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And our wedding alone was a lot. I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot.
How much was y'all wedding?
It was a lot.
I mean, and she got a big family.
Yeah, we had 300 guests. He had 15 of his family there. 15 out of the 300 guests.
I had one table, y'all.
She had 285.
It was crazy. I'm over here waving to people like, hey.
We had a lot of college friends. I had about maybe like 150 family members.
Hey, Jessica.
It was, yeah. But
here's my family.
Yep.
All right, say hi, everybody. All right.
But everything we did just so these people could eat and drink and have a good time.
Isn't that crazy, though?
I said, we can work hard and create a life and we can be debt free. We can build generational wealth, and we can inspire. Because a lot of people, they booked us because we were in love and we were shooting love. And I quit my job.
You did?
2 weeks before the wedding.
Quit too.
Really? 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I was like, we good.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah,
we can do
this. You quit, I can quit.
Yeah, this is what we love to do.
So you quit how many months before? 3 months? 2 months?
I quit about 6 months before.
6 months before.
April, and I quit 2 weeks before. We needed the direct deposit. We needed my money to keep, like, that was, but once.
Yeah.
So was you afraid to quit?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Why?
So I worked in HR. I got my MBA in human resources. And when I got that particular job, I moved up really quickly. And I was the only Black woman in there. I had the highest degree, and I saw myself possibly being a director one day, and my boss at the time, she really pushed me. But it got to a point where I said, I don't know if I could do this much longer.
So you felt what he felt when he was in that car?
Yeah, but I felt like it was a spiritual war for sure.
Really?
And I think too, a lot of people at my job, they started knowing about what I was doing, and I think it kind of caused
some little jealousy.
Yeah, I don't want to say jealousy, but yeah, maybe
I think they saw for sure.
Yeah, I think.
Dang, that's a good point.
I think they were like, because I was this little Haitian girl, this little black girl. They gave a chance, and I was doing a great job, but I think it kind of what they loved about me was what they didn't like about me at the end. So I remember when I quit, my boss was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And I said, whatever I put my hands on, God will bless.
You said that to your boss.
I said that to my boss. I said, what? I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. Because a lot of people, I think at the time, just was like, oh, your husband, your soon-to-be husband has all of this, but what about you? You know? And I struggle with that. Even after I quit, I love that we work together, but at some point I was like, but it's really you, because the name is Reem. It's not Sandy in it. But
so
Reem,
this is good right here. Yeah. So even in it, because this is so freaking good, he already said that he couldn't do it without you. Yep. I don't know if that's hindsight being 2020 or at the beginning was he inviting you in these spaces because he allowed you to name the company. I don't know if he started off under one name at first and then it evolved to Reem. But why did you feel like that was his success and wouldn't be yours?
Because there's this, as much as women want to be taken care of and they have the picture perfect life, they have the husband who makes 6 figures for the home. There's also another side that a lot of women don't talk about, that you get judged for it. You look like you're just a housewife. You're not doing anything. And I received a lot of that from maybe friendships and people that just knew me. Yeah. But majority of people that just saw us on social media, right, or worked with us, they were like, "We need Sandy there." It took years for people to say, "Where's your wife?" I'm not holding the camera, but I needed to be there.
Why? Why did they start connecting?
Because I love connection. I would find myself maybe 5 minutes before the bride has to go down the aisle. She's by herself, no planner, no maid of honor, and I'm praying with her. I'm speaking life, or it became like, I was like, oh God, this is not just wedding photography. This is a ministry. This is ministry.
And people forget that.
Yeah.
And I just think it was just the enemy just whispering in my head, like, oh, remember you were.
You got a whole degree. You got a master's.
Yeah, you got this, you got that. You're not using that at all. And you're just, you have a successful business, but it's not
your business.
Yours. But once I became one with this man, that is my business. That is our business. That is everything we built together. We did it. He reminds me every day. He won't talk about our company without mentioning my name. Never. So yeah.
Why is that important, Reem?
Yeah, you hit it right on the money. Like, people just look at the face of the business type thing. They see my face and it's attached that, Reem is the guy who's doing all the work with all this stuff. But like, just because I'm doing the labor doesn't mean she's not doing the work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? She has been the brains behind this entire business. And what do people think when I'm going out here and shooting these weddings and posing these brides and giving all these feedback to them and all that good stuff? Where do they think that comes from? You know what I'm saying? It literally comes from her. Like, as simple as, how does her hair look? When I'm editing the photos, I'm like, yo, her hair look all right.
Like, what is that? I'm like, that's okay? A lace.
You know what I mean?
That's a lace. You have to make sure.
Like, what's going on right here? I would go to a wedding and they're like, where's your wife? I'm like, oh man, she couldn't make it today. And they're like, what? I'm like, but I'm here. They're like, oh, okay, cool.
They're all disappointed.
Yeah. They be all hurt and stuff, but it just goes to show how much she is a part of the business that I am. Just because her face not be attached to it as much as I am, she's every much as this business as I am. So Yeah, I think a lot of people don't really realize that.
Did it take a while to get to that level as a couple, or did it always start off like that? Because like I said, you quit your job proud and embarrassed. Was that something that y'all had to learn to allow each other's strengths to shine, or was it, because a lot of times that's a whole maturation phase, because sometimes with men, we'll be like, hold on, I got this. This is what I do. I don't need you trying to tell me how I do this. Don't tell me how I do this. It's always like that.
I can't explain why, because that's the number one question. A lot of women reach out to me like, how do you work with your husband? How do you make it work? I'm like, we truly feel like this is our ministry. There's nothing else we could say about it. We can have arguments about other stuff like that, have nothing. It's never about a wedding, never about work. We love traveling together. It's the only thing now we don't travel as much because we have our son. And
how old's your son?
3. He just turned 3 last week.
Got a little 3-year-old. Oh, last week too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He was almost a Virgo. Not he's on the cusp.
On the cusp, like you talking about.
Yeah, but So, but we just and the thing, even if we were like kind of mad at each other because of some petty little forgot to put the seat, put the toilet seat down or something, whatever. Like
little
we
stuff.
would get like, we gotta leave at 1 p.m. I'm like, well, I'm still doing makeup, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Once we get to the wedding, it's just like
gone.
Switch.
It's gone.
Yep.
And he says something all the time, and that whenever we go to a wedding and we get, especially the ceremony, it's like we're renewing our vows.
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Is that a special moment
Oh
for y'all?
my gosh!
All the
Seeing the
time.
families, seeing the couples come together, is I don't know another thing that I love more than wedding photography.
Yeah.
Went to your first wedding with your wife, and now that's all y'all do now is weddings together.
Yeah. And then like the pastor be talking, the couples be saying their vows, and then we just be looking at each other like, man, I should have said that when that was a good one.
Say that for your time.
Yeah. I'd be
10 years.
I be putting it in my iPhone notes. I'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. So
But then 10 years.
I think it's crazy that we get to shoot weddings, because every single wedding that we shoot, we get to just learn something more. Seeing families come together, seeing the couple say their vows, the pastors that they have, all that good stuff. I just be taking notes.
How many weddings you think y'all shot?
Total?
Yeah.
Thousands.
Oh, definitely over 1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Over 1,000.
Oh no,
Yeah.
definitely way more than that. 'Cause
Yeah.
this year alone,
Yeah, that's just being modest.
Yeah, this year alone we've had over.
Probably 80.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
So y'all be shooting a couple a week then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like y'all doing
But
once a week.
In
Yeah.
the beginning, after we got married, we were like on, especially no kids, don't know, like just me and him.
right.
Like we sometimes 3-4 weddings a week.
Yeah. And before people are like, 80, just to give context, we have a team as well.
Yeah.
So, between the team and us, it's about 80 for the year.
Yeah.
So how did y'all first start branching out? Where y'all from?
South Florida.
South Florida. How did your wedding business start taking off from just being in y'all's region to being, I'd probably say worldwide?
That's a
Because
great
have y'all
question.
shot international?
Yeah.
So how did that even start? How did that happen?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, it started with shooting for free, of course, doing the free shoots, getting all of our content out there. And then I think once you get kind of that one out-of-state wedding and you start posting it, people just start being like,
you gotta put the little location on the top.
put the location and tag the venue, all that good stuff. They're like, oh, they must shoot out of state. Oh, you from LA, right? I'm like, yep. Why not?
Why not?
Even if we were traveling, we would DM a couple that we know that's out there, or and we say, hey, you guys want to shoot? And then you just change that location tag up there.
Yeah.
But
social media, man.
But during COVID is what changed us.
Really?
Yeah.
For sure.
How?
So
Because weddings were getting canceled during that time.
Yes. That's when we had that was like our biggest blessing was COVID. So during COVID, I want to say like the beginning when everything got shut down, I was never scared when it came to like, like the whole world shut down. Everybody can't pay their bills. Everybody's like trying to figure it out.
I thought about going back to work.
Man, let me tell you something. I was trying to figure out everything in life to do. I started Dear Future Wifey during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally going to do a podcast for some school districts, and I was talking them into it. That's how I had all the equipment. And so they were just like, well, we don't know what's going on, so we don't know if we're going to ever do the podcast. I said, wow, I'm tired of trying to chase everybody else to get them, to convince them why a podcast is necessary. I said, I'll just be the proof of concept. I'm going to go ahead and be my own calling card. I'm going to produce a podcast, and then I'm going to show people this is how you do a podcast. And I was like, oh, that means I got to record this stuff. I said, I'm going to tell everybody my business. Then I got scared. Yeah. I said, hold on, let me think about it. I said, I'm going to tell everybody my business. How's that going to go? I said, I don't care. I need to get healed anyway. And that's why I started off doing it. And it just took off. Wow. But I was afraid. I did it because I wanted to show the clients I want to attract how to do a podcast. Wow. And then I accidentally became successful.
Look at accidentally, that. Yes.
Look at God.
Yes,
man.
Accidentally.
That's why I did it.
That's a testimony right there.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, you said you was about to go back to get a job, and then what about you?
So about 3 weeks in, like we're like, oh, everything's getting canceled. Literally everything got canceled, and Reem caught up on all his edits, and we're like, oh, there's nothing to do. We're just looking at each other. And I said, DJ D Nice did his go live DJ and all that. So I was like, there's nothing like that we could do. I was like, there's nothing like photography thing we could do. And I'm notorious for, if I'm on FaceTime with somebody, I will take their picture. There's like a little button on the iPhone that you could take a live photo. And I told Reem, he didn't know what I was talking about, thought I was crazy. And I said, can we take some pictures of our friends on FaceTime and edit these photos?
You see his face, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I showed him, we called two couples, and we had a whole FaceTime. We screen recorded the whole thing, and we took pictures of them. Those pictures, Reem edited them. He gave people lineup. The pictures weren't good quality, but it was just fun. He posted it, and it took off.
What? That's what took off?
It took off, yeah.
And what? People, what were they saying?
They were just like, what?
Virtually.
We were shooting them virtually.
Yeah.
And we were editing these photos, and it got on a bunch of places. We got on Good Morning America.
No, y'all did?
Yes, we did.
A bunch of interviews,
and
news stations.
He opened up.
Are you serious?
He opened up.
You see when you choose the right woman?
So he opened up.
Because I was questioning her at first. I was like,
I was looking at her like, why would I do that?
Yeah, I was like, why?
He opened up this like thing where you could schedule sessions.
No, he wasn't.
And we got.
You start booking people on FaceTime.
It got for real.
You know, we did over 500 photo shoots for free.
Yeah.
And that's when we shot people in London, Paris, all over the U.S. And the people just found out. And people were crying on these FaceTime shoots because all their stuff got canceled. Maternity shoots got canceled. This was their first child wedding. Yeah, we thought this was we thought it was funny. Yeah. And people were on there like, thank you. We're like, wait, what did we?
Yeah, what did we create here?
What did we create? Yeah.
Oh.
And a lot of people and then when the world opened back up, they were like, we want you to be our photographer. Wedding photographer.
Boy, that was some advertising for your behind, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we were shooting Africa before we even got to Africa.
Yeah.
So you tell me they would call y'all and y'all would tell them to screen record. Y'all would screen record.
So they would place their camera somewhere. We'll tell them exactly where to place it.
And you over posing.
Yeah, we had it all set up. Like we had instructions. You know, you must have Wi-Fi. All that good stuff.
We can show you after. It's on YouTube. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And so y'all was doing that, but y'all was doing it for free.
For free.
Y'all was editing all these people pictures for free.
No, it was
no charge.
When we were in it, we were like, okay. That's why he had to shut down the website.
Yeah, I had to turn it off.
It got people started booking. It was so many people. We're like, wait. And then it got on like Shade Room, and you know, once that happens, people are like, yeah. So, but people,
y'all did about 500.
People donated. We were able to pay our rent for that month.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So I hope somebody was giving y'all some love offers or something.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, they did.
Good Lord, you 500 photos. I'll be like, this is a bad idea, Sandy.
Right.
You see what you got us into?
At some point, I was like, I'm not gonna be there. I can't do it.
It was crazy.
But that was what really made us, I guess, more known, just to a whole
global
thing that we didn't even know about. So,
and then y'all got bookings from that. They was like, "Hey, I'm getting married. Come here." Did y'all only just do weddings, or were y'all doing like engagement shoots? And so even back then, people was booking y'all. Y'all do like maternity shoots and stuff like that. So y'all were doing everything.
Yep.
So you was like, "I'm taking the booking."
Yep,
for sure.
Till now, we do maternity and engagement shoots. We don't do like we'll do a family shoot, of course, because we want to be a part of the journey.
Yeah.
So, but no newborn. We don't do newborns. We don't do animal dogs.
We know what we like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to I don't want to disappoint the person because it's something I don't like to shoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shoot what I like to shoot.
I ain't like doing that myself.
Yeah.
Because it's like just babysitting there, be like swaddle them up.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'd be like, this is so.
No, this ain't it.
I'm not good at this.
I know somebody.
We just love.
And some people be good. They know how to pose it, set it up, put all that stuff up. I'd be like, this is not my calling.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not my calling.
For sure.
All. I mean, I did event photography. I did all that stuff. And it's like, it's something about weddings. Yeah. Wedding is my love. I remember when Bride.com named me one of the top podcasts of the year. And I was like, wow, if this isn't a full circle experience, wishing that my photography would hit Bride.com, and here it is, my podcast did. You know, that's just a regular Tuesday for Reem to be on Bride.com. But, you know, some people.
I like how you just be like hyping us. That's kind of crazy.
No, it's the truth. You know, you gonna realize, you gonna look at all this stuff, be sitting there in People magazine and everything. Quit playing.
What are you talking about?
He's so humble though. Reem, I'm the one that's always like, I gotta.
Sandy be like, you better tell him. You
put some respect on your name.
You've been in Brides. Like, tell him. You've been on Vogue. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's what I love most about him. He still feels like there's more to learn, more to do. He's still like, dang, I could have shot this way. So he uses it for the next wedding. So
give me an example of that. How your brain work?
At a wedding?
Yeah, when you say I could have, like stuff she's saying.
I think after the wedding. So when I'm going through the pictures, they call it culling. Yeah. And I'm just sorting through the pictures. I'm like, man, I could have stood this way. I could have had a light here, all that good stuff. And Sandy be like, you know, this is a nice picture, right? Like, I'm like, I know, but like I could have done this. And I think that just shows that I never get complacent. I never get comfortable with what I'm doing. So, you know, I don't want to ever reach the point where I'm like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, everything I do is great.
Yeah.
I make no mistakes. I'm perfect.
I need you to tell me that this wasn't, you could have done better. And it's not because you coming for me, it's just because I want to do better.
Do you ever feel like that, Sandy? When you look at this stuff, you be like, yeah, that was pretty whack.
I have to keep him humble. I have to like make him work hard. Yeah, but it took I've always been just amazed by his eye and how he like. And I know I'm always there, and I see, like I'll see something, and he really knows how to understand what I'm saying. But especially since I don't really work with him as much, so when he comes back and shows me the gallery, I'm like, wow, I taught you well. You did good.
Young grasshopper. I trained you well.
No, but it's just like, it's always been in him. He's so creative. So I always say, like, you weren't meant to be in accounting. Like,
I was about to say
sitting in front of a computer, it was like, that was not gonna, you weren't gonna.
But that's two different minds.
Two different.
So were you creative before accounting, or was you just creativity just popped up one day?
Great question. Yeah, I think I always loved art. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always used to draw and all that good stuff. But photography, I didn't think I was going to be a photographer at all. Like I said, 9 years old, I didn't even know what I was going to do when I was moving out.
What you did know, you wasn't doing.
Yeah, I just knew I wasn't going to live there. I didn't know what I was about to do though. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted to do like animation and like colorism and all that good, like cartoonism and all that good stuff. But I didn't know I wanted to be a photographer. Yeah, at all.
That's how I started off in drawing and stuff. I was drawing a lot. And my pictures will always be around the school for being the best artist in the school, for whatever grade level. So that's what I used to love.
It's
photography.
Yeah,
and it's just, I just, but that's the reason why I can respect Reem's work so much is because of the eye that I have. I be like, God, he posed them right. The lighting is right here. He got a little backlight. He got a little catch light over there. Eyes over here.
You hear the backlight? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta come second shoot with us sometimes.
I'm gonna come out there and just be intimidated by Reem.
No, never.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like,
no, he ain't gonna second shoot.
It's so funny. A lot of people when they meet him, they're like, that's not who I thought you were at all. Like, he's so welcoming, and like he learns from our second shooters. He learns from everybody all the time.
Yeah, sometimes they think like, oh, I thought you was going to be like, you know,
real hard.
Yeah, like tough and micromanaging all that stuff.
Like a hard football coach, like just run it like this.
Yeah. I'm like, no, do you? No. I mean, that's why I brought you. You know, like, you know, do you?
But you so calm that it looked like even if somebody was doing a bad job, you'd be like, okay, well. You know,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah, you'd be like,
Word.
I suck. He's never gonna have me back.
Right.
Somebody said
Right.
to me the other day, like, I thought you were never gonna call me
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
The
No,
second
actually, that's
shift.
crazy. Somebody texted me the other day. He was like, he's never gonna hire me again. I was like, no, you did a great job, bro.
Like, I
That's
can't
why I
tell.
didn't hit you up.
He's
Yeah.
like, well, I couldn't tell because you wasn't impressed. You didn't say nothing.
Right. I'm like, bro, if I ain't say nothing, you did great.
You did great.
Yeah.
Like, yep, that's my last shoot with Ring. Let me find something else to do with my life.
Yeah. Let me switch to another career.
Man, this is hilarious. And so what has been the most impactful? Let me ask you this. Did y'all have conversations around kids? Did y'all say that, hey, we want to have 2 kids, 3 kids, 1 kid. We're going to wait 5 years after marriage. Like, what was that conversation around kids?
You want me to take So we wanted kids immediately after. And we tried for 3.5 years, almost 4 years. So it was, I think wedding photography kept us busy. We were always on the road. It like kept our minds busy. But every time we would see our couples, they got engaged, they got married, they had kids, and we would like.
So we shoot the whole journey.
We saw the whole journey.
Yeah.
It just made us also want that even more.
Yeah.
And I think I put a lot of stress on myself for it. Reem was always positive. It's gonna happen. But yeah, we really wanted kids. So we went through IVF to have our son, and we got pregnant naturally during that process.
I always hear that. I'd be like, well, it'd be a waste of money. You go do all this 1 minute, next thing no God said, I got it.
No,
You'd be like, well, you should have told me I could have saved about $10,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just like we learned about God's timing a lot. I think that was one of the things in our marriage is like
Trust
God
his
is a
timing.
God of
Yeah.
the final hour for us.
Oh, the final hour.
Our wedding, our baby, our house, the final minute,
Yep.
a miracle just comes through.
Every time.
But we want more kids.
Did you feel the pressure of family and friends telling y'all? Because it's always like, it's the when are you complex. When you gonna get married? Mm-hmm. When y'all gonna have kids? It's like it's always pushing you to the next thing. That you feel the pressure of friends and family, even as you said, your mom, the minute you bring them home is like, hey, give me grandbaby. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's that push. Did you feel pressure from your friends and family?
Never. I never did.
Well,
I never cared about. Yeah,
I never cared.
Yeah, maybe it's. Did you?
I think just being a woman, I think
Yeah.
the older
From a
I got,
woman's
especially
standpoint.
there is an age difference, and I was getting closer to that 35, and I have friends who don't have kids yet, not married yet, so I don't think I felt pressure from them, but just by strangers. Oh, when are you guys gonna have kids? Yeah. You've been married this long, no kids. When the kids are coming?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know what
you don't know what
through.
people going
You don't know what people going
through.
through.
You gotta be sensitive to it. So I love to tell people about our journey, and I love to help women, especially if we want more kids, and we're not going to let science stop us or anything.
Yeah.
Like, we know God will make that happen. So, but pressure from friends and family, no. I know my mom really wanted kids, his parents too. But it happened in God's time.
Your season is your season. Nobody can tell you when or when not you should have, kids, get married, get a house, all that good stuff. It's all, everybody has their own season, so I never let that pressure me.
And I feel like the timing of it, like as much as we wanted kids, or I really wanted a child.
This wasn't the time.
There was
business,
we was
working hard. You wouldn't, man.
Yeah, the amount of weddings we had,
it wasn't the time.
It wasn't the time.
See, even in this interview, I wanted to tiptoe around even asking about kids. I'm like, I think they have a kid, but I'm not sure, because the way you frame a question can cause trauma. If I can say, so when y'all having kids? But you already said that y'all have a 3-year-old, just celebrated the birthday. So I was like, cool, I can talk about kids. But I don't want to. I want to frame it where it's like, so what was the conversation around having kids? Instead of saying, so the kid is only 3 years old, what took y'all so long? Like, all that is a trauma. You're like, what do you mean it took this long? You don't realize? It's bad. So I'll wait, let you say something, and then ask you what conversations that y'all have around kids. Because it could be a situation where, say that y'all don't have kids. Say that you want kids and he don't, because he's so focused on working. He's like, this is not the time. I give me to year 9, we gonna have kids. And you like, That's so insensitive as a man when you don't know. I got to go talk to my gynecologist, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, you know, you in that whole space of a geriatric childbirth. You know that, right?"
Yeah.
And he like, "Don't listen to them. God got you." And you like, "But my body, I'm going to be the one carrying it."
Right.
And then I say something, out of ignorance. I'll just say it like that, not knowing how to frame a question and be like, "So when y'all gonna have kids?" And then you looking at him like, "When?" And he looking like, "Don't you let this dude get us an argument, right?" And then y'all leave the studio, and he's like, "See, I told you, people keep asking. You don't have to deal with all that." That's a whole argument. Your whole experience on Dear Future Wifey podcast done caused a whole negative thing. And I just asked the question. Don't see what's wrong with it. All you gotta do is say they ain't ready. Be
And
like,
that's how you know couples never talked about it. 'Cause if you ask a question and then we both go, "So when? When is it gonna happen?" That's how you know the couple. That's how you know the couple ain't prepared for it. I'm like, oh,
that was bad. Well, never mind. Well, let's ignore that last question.
Let's go edit that out.
But I love that I hear so many women talking about IVF because it's so. And then you will hear certain people. I remember I had people on my podcast. And about 3 years ago, and this one lady, she was a virgin, said that she's gonna freeze her eggs. She was 42 years old or 40 something. And then people was like, "That's not of God. You shouldn't be freezing your eggs. That's losing faith. God, if he wanted you to have kids, you would have had kids now," and all this. And I'd be like, "Will y'all quit saying this foolishness?" It's like, why are you saying that? I believe that modern technology is around for what it is. If that's the journey, it don't stop God from still doing it. God don't say, "Oop, you froze your eggs. Now I can't get you pregnant normal. I can't naturally. I can't do it. I done messed up. I can't do it because you went and did that." God be like, "Ha ha ha."
Until you go through it, you can't. Because I said I wasn't gonna do IVF. I prayed against it so much. I prayed against a C-section. I had a C-section, and I remember I didn't even want to Google C-section because I didn't want to even put that
in your spirit,
in my spirit, because then you're. But I had to go through one. But when you know that you're going to carry a child, earthside, like there's nothing
everything changes
that you wouldn't do to get to that child, you know? So as I get older, I realize you don't know what people go through.
Yes.
Even recently, we just recently experienced a pregnancy loss. And it was like,
Sorry to hear that.
when you called Reem, that got me out of bed to know that God is still alive and well. And
all right,
I was like, I'm just gonna do this. But like, you don't know.
We there now.
Yeah, we here now.
Yeah.
No, you good. You good. That's what this podcast is for.
No, because like the month of September was probably the hardest month, one of the toughest months I've gone through in a long time. And I was questioning God, why? But I think 2 days later, like, Reem spoke to you and you invited us here, and I was like, why? Why us?
That was the question she kept asking when we got off our call. And I told Sandy, I was like, just let you know, we about to be out there Future Wifey podcast.
I'm like, I had to have surgery and everything,
like,
and I was just like,
why
that's
are we?
a lot.
I'm like, don't ask why. Like,
there it is.
That's just.
I'm
That's
like,
just how
I'm
God
like, you seen
works.
the couples on there? They got like,
right. And I'm like, there you go, comparing yourself.
There it is.
I'm like, no, that's just how God works. And I'm like, man, now she crying. I was getting me emotional. I'm like, you know I don't like to cry.
You don't like to cry. You know I'm a thug.
You know what I'm saying? Thug.
You know I'm an accountant.
Yeah.
Right. You know I like numbers.
But there's a timing for everything. There's God. I just knew that there had to be a bigger purpose and there's a lesson in it. And we just gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep doing what we have to do. And we know that something big is gonna happen.
So let me ask you this: Why do you think God got y'all on here today?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I just think the hard work and the prayers and just keeping our head down and just doing truly what we love brought us here. And I'll always question God on that, but at the same time, I'm like, I knew that He could do this. I know He could do more. And my mom watches your show. I told her.
She does.
She was just like, "Oh, okay, Sandy, God, you see, don't play with God. God is a God." And yeah, there has to be a reason why we're here. And we just thank you so much for the opportunity. And we can't wait to capture your beautiful wedding. And
man, I'm looking forward to that,
be a
man.
part of your life forever.
Like, people ask, what's the secret, man? How do you get to where you are? What's the secret? What's the secret? What's the secret? And I'm like, there really is no secret, man. I really don't, hope I don't sound cliche, but you really just got to keep working hard. Absolutely. I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted to shoot weddings and work really hard at it. And Sandy knows I'm obsessed with what we do. And when we got this opportunity, I was just like, it's just a product of continuous hard work. You know, I didn't know that this was going to happen today. I didn't know that on September 30th, 2025, that I'll be on Dear Future Wifey podcast, but it's just a product of hard work. But it sounds so cliche and it sounds so...
And we make it look like there's a lot behind closed doors that people don't see.
There's so much.
Just because it looks easy doesn't mean it is.
He spends many nights not even home. These weddings are long.
They're long.
For some reason, he's been getting like 17-hour wedding days. Like
For some reason,
they just get longer and longer, and he got to go to another state. There's just a lot of.
He got a wedding to shoot right after shoot my wedding on the 22nd, and got to land on the 23rd.
Yeah.
I said, how he gonna do that? I said, it's none of your business, Terrence.
Right.
Yeah. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
I said, why do you do that?
So, and he never complains. Like. Never. I get a little headache, and I'm like.
But see, I'm sensitive. Yeah. So, like when I said that, I was like, well, dang. So I'm gonna make sure I end a little early, let them out, because now my brain going to photography. So I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna be transparent. So this is what I was doing. I said, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the send off a little early. We're gonna do a mock send off, so I can let Reem go back to the hotel, and if he want to book a flight to leave earlier, he can catch a red eye. But we're gonna do the send off early.
No,
this how we think.
Man, that's very thoughtful.
I said, we're going to do a send-off early, and we'll tell everybody to go outside, and then we'll do the send-off. We drive back around, and then we'll finish up the night. But we'll let him be done at that point.
Wow.
That's how my brain works.
Yeah.
Wow. Nah, you don't got to do that. You don't got to do that.
I was saying that. I was like, but that's my brain. That's just how my brain works.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I was like, okay, that's what we'll do.
And you know how we look at it? How is his wedding the only day that is free?
On a Saturday.
Like, how is that day free?
On a Saturday.
So we look at it was meant to be. That's how we look at it.
Let me tell you this, because me and my fiance talked about this. We said we only want people that's rocking with us. Even venues that we talk to, if we called a venue and they were booked that day, it wasn't that. Yep. And we found a venue, they said, hold on. How is this the only Saturday we have free at this venue? And I was like, it's ours. I mean, every time it's been, I'm talking about even the rehearsal dinner. They were like, let me see if we got this. Like, that's abnormal that we free on that Saturday. And I was just like, and I told her that. She was like, well, dang, we plan this. Everybody keeps saying you normally need 6 months to a year to plan. I said, there's no way on God's green earth I want to think about a wedding for a whole year. I just don't have time or desire.
Be doing it for like a year, year and
let's
a
get
half.
it done and be done. I said, no. And then even that, I said, with y'all, I said, I mean, if he ain't available, he just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, we just gonna try to figure it out. Our wedding planner sent an email saying that, hey, we're going to have a meeting with. She was going to have a meeting with you without me, and I said, hold on, that's the guy I was just showing my fiance yesterday on YouTube, and she was like, oh well, wow, I'm glad you already like his stuff, and then she said. I said, I'm going to be on that call. She said, you want to? I said, absolutely, I want to be on this call. I said, I want to be on this call. She said, okay. She already had it planned and everything. I already had a photographer that was going to shoot the wedding for me free of charge. And they was like, I got you. I'm doing it. You know, we did this big thing in 2020 where I gifted 3 couples to get married free during the pandemic, and I just paid for it. And then I did, I had this thing on social media where my friends, we did a GoFundMe, and we paid for these 3 couples to have a group wedding. And then God told me one day, he said, you know what, since you look out for everybody else, I'm gonna take care of you when it's time to get, when you time, your time to get married. And I said, whatever. I said, because I got some, my taste is a little high, God. I like the best of the best. He said, you think you serving a God? You can't outgive me. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to be let down. So then when I literally saw Reem, it wasn't even a thought to even reach out to him. I'm telling you, I was like, oh, he costs too much. Not doing that. That's exactly what I did. I said, not doing it. I didn't DM him. I didn't reach out to him. I didn't go inquire. I didn't look at a website. I didn't do nothing. And our call was the first time I looked at the website. I said, no, where's the website? And I started looking at it because I didn't even think about him.
Wow.
I looked at his stuff. I said,
Yeah, this ain't
Nope,
it.
this ain't it.
Ain't
I
gonna
got
happen.
this other lady that she gonna shoot it for free. I seen her work. She does great work. So then I end up saying, well, after I talked to Reem, I said, all right, you can shoot our engagement shoot. And then I got Reem shooting this wedding.
Wow.
But that's how it happened.
Wow.
God had to push my faith to the level of Reem to be able to say, I wanted this.
And that's
Sheesh.
And I talked to him. He's like, yeah, we opened the door. I said, man, when I say my fiance was so happy, she said, oh, please. She said, he's available. I said, yeah, he available. Well, I say she was so excited. But when I saw y'all videos, I was like, oh, they top notch. I said this, and I was telling her, I was like, this is what I'm talking about photography. This is the type of photography that I could rest in, where I could sit back and be like, you got me.
That's
all
we
ain't got to be like,
I gotta ask no questions.
Did you get this shot?
You gotta write that down.
Yeah,
Type of photography you can rest in. Put that in your notes. This is photography you can rest in. This is an endorsement for Reem photography. This is the type of photography you can rest in. Reem photography, that's what the R stand for, rest. And so, not just reliving, it stands for rest.
It's the gym.
And so, and that's what it was, because I sat back and I said, as a photographer, I will be very anal watching, like, why didn't they shoot that? Why didn't they do that? Why? You know what I'm saying? And my brain would be thinking like that. And then when I saw him, I said, oh, I can just be a groom. I can just sit back and be like, oh, he gonna capture. And all I gotta do is stay in the moment and let him capture that moment.
I love that.
And then I said, oh, I'm in good hands, period.
You don't know what God is doing behind doors. And we've been doing this 10 years.
10 years. And I'm going to come back and answer the question about why God got y'all here. He got y'all here because it's twofold. A, to see a kingdom couple know how to do business together where they are able to respect and admire each other's strengths and weaknesses. The other part about how we got to the very end about IVF, if you understood how many women deal with that. My daughter just gave birth to my first grandchild in August the 15th. And she struggled so much during her pregnancy. She ended up having a dermoid cyst. The first year she was married, she had a dermoid cyst that took away her whole right ovary. And now here's my first time hearing a woman share the complexities and the pain of childbirth or the desire to have kids and trying to reconcile whether or not they are able to have kids. So I'm talking to my daughter and she's sharing, she said, Dad, I don't know what I would do if I could never have a kid. And I said, and I want to mansplain it away and be like, well, listen, your value is greater just giving kids or whatever, and you don't have to wear. And I sat down and I said, just don't try to solve it. Just listen to it. And I listened to her cry on that phone. And I shed tears and I cried. And then I began to war in prayer. I had two people that were going through that situation at the same time. And just on the transparent standpoint, even my fiance was freezing her eggs around that time. And this before we were just friends at that time. And so she was freezing her eggs. My friend Brandon and Destiny, they just had another miscarriage, and my daughter had that dermoid cyst that took away her ovary, all in the same a month apart from each other. And I began to pray. I was live one day on Instagram, and I was in the parking lot. People probably don't even know where I was. I was in the parking lot of the hospital where my daughter was about to go have surgery. And because at first I just thought it was like a little cyst or something. And that thing was a 5-pound dermoid cyst that ate away.
Wow.
I didn't know what a dermoid cyst was. I had to research it. It grows hair. It grows teeth. It does all. I said, what in the world is this thing? It's eating off of you. And I said, oh my God, that's in my daughter. And so I sat in that parking lot and I began to war in the spirit. I began to pray about, I said, I'm tired of the devil coming against the wounds of kingdom couples and trying to stop us from giving birth to destiny. And I began to pray and pray and pray and war in the spirit. And I went in there, and then the doctor told my daughter, he's like, hey, listen, if you really want to have kids, y'all better get at it like right now. She's like, oh, they don't understand. We've been trying all this time. And so she said, all right, let's be intentional. Had a couple of miscarriages along the way up until last year, and then ended up sticking this time. And I was like, I don't want to get too excited. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna let her just go through her journey, and she'll come on here and she'll share her full story. But August the 15th, our child was due on September the 15th, And they said, we got to go ahead and induce labor because you're at the cusp of preeclampsia because her blood pressure was high. So they said, hey, we're going to go and induce labor, but we needed to get to closer to the 15th, whatever that week is. They said we needed to get 2 more days. And then that 3rd day, they were able to induce it because it was just, she was dilating so slow. And then she started dilating that 3rd day, boom, child was born on the 15th. Healthy. She didn't have to stay in the NICU at all.
Congratulations.
Just healthy. Came home. Claire Elizabeth, the whitest name she could find. Make sure she is employable when she gets older. So Claire Elizabeth. So that's my great baby.
What a testimony.
That's a testimony.
And for
so
you,
that's why you have to share that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I honestly, after we had our son, we told God we would never ever complain about having a child again. We had the embryo that we were supposed to put back in. It's been frozen since 2021. And we know that he would do it naturally. And that's what happened. But I was so shocked. I spent 2.5 months shocked that I was pregnant.
2.5
naturally,
months.
Out of nowhere.
She couldn't believe it.
Like we had just finished shooting. No, seriously, I just could not believe it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until we saw several heartbeats. We were good. I started to say, okay, God, I guess you're going to do this. I guess I'm a normal woman who can conceive naturally. And it got stripped from me. Yeah. And I questioned God a lot. And I was like, God, there has to be a bigger thing that you have for me, because why would you let me see heartbeats and get excited? And I told you, I just want to know how it feels to accidentally get pregnant. A lot of women don't understand how big of a blessing that is. Women are trying over and over, and there's an attack on fruitfulness right now. There has to be. This story is either women are not getting married, they don't even know if they're going to meet a man. They're doing single mother by choice, or married couples who are like, when Reem and I before we got married, we abstained for over a year. We didn't even kiss till the
wedding.
Till the wedding, we spent over 1.5 years not kissing because we were like, we want to be obedient. Forgive us for everything we did, and it was like, I don't know if I felt like that was okay, God. You.
Yeah, I own this. I mean, I deserve this now.
Yeah. Yes.
I honored you in this, and this is the repayment. Like,
there's people that don't try. There's people that are on drugs that get pregnant. Like, it was just so many things. I just say, why me? I've been through infertility. Why would you take this from me right now? And I'm not gonna lie, I was in bed, and Reem said, "We going on this podcast," and I said. I got right up.
With a fire under you.
I said, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. You got to tell. I don't think I was going to say this on this podcast today, but women, like, we need to take control of our fertility. And Reem said something good too, because we went to the doctor last week just so we can, get back. And he said, "Why are they only talking to you? Why? You can say this part.
We can get into that.
Yeah, you can get into it." He's like, that is not.
Just a woman story.
For them to say I only got to go in and do one thing. Mm-hmm. You have to do scraping of your uterus, all these tests.
And then the guy, they talk to them for 10 seconds. We're just going to get a sperm sample and we'll just see how it's going.
The majority of miscarriages is caused by
the men.
It could be a combination, but I know you.
Talk about this.
I think that's why a lot of couples get misinformed, because the focus is so much on the woman that the guy doesn't think he needs to put into work for himself.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So literally. Yeah. So like when they say so many things about the woman, but they have they don't talk to the guy. So the guy just thinks that he can just go about his regular day, and it has nothing to do with him. But the sperm has every much to do with fertility as much the woman does. Yeah. It's probably even more so.
Yep.
So when I heard that, all I kept thinking was like, man, she hasn't asked me any questions yet. She hasn't asked the guy nothing. Like, what are you eating? Yep. What was your last sperm test? All that good stuff. It's very important that we get tested as well, and we do our part, because if our sperm isn't good and the sperm and the egg meet, it's not good for the fetus and the DNA. And that's how a lot of miscarriages happen.
Absolutely.
So
I'm glad you actually gave voice to that because, again, you're absolutely right. And even the loss of a kid through a miscarriage or whatever, it's almost like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And he just sitting over there to the woman. He just over
and we're
there,
just like,
I'm so sorry. He just sitting like he didn't feel nothing, like he's not traumatized, like he's not hurt, like he's not afraid of trying again either. Yeah. It's just like, oh, I'm just so sorry.
Because when we got there's no heartbeat, the look on his face, and Reem holds it all together.
Yeah, because I had to be strong for her.
But your face, I don't think we ever imagined that we could ever hear those words. Mm-hmm. Like you going like, okay, we're gonna see how big, and it started looking like a baby, and no heartbeat. Reem face, like I had to ask him for several days, are you okay? Are you good? Like I know this is me, but are you good?
Mm-hmm. How did you feel, Reem, in that moment?
Oh man, miserable, devastated. But it's like, as a man, you have to feel strong.
I don't want to hear none of that. How you feel in that moment?
Oh, devastated.
Because what you're about to start doing is showing what we were taught. It's like you got to be tough. See, I felt devastated, but see, as a man, you're supposed to hold together, be the strength. I don't want to hear none of that.
And that's the point I was going to get to.
Yeah. How did you feel?
Right, I felt devastated, but society wants you as a man to hold it up and be strong. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I was torn apart. I was devastated. I was miserable. And I wanted her to know that as well, that I'm very sad as well. And I don't want her to feel so like that I'm so strong and confident about this that she doesn't think I'm hurting as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that gives her a level of comfort. So because I was so hurt, I think that gave her a sense of peace as well in some weird way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So why do we say I have to be strong for her? What does that mean?
I don't know what narrative that's created for us.
Because let's say I have a family member. Let's say I'm married to somebody. Their mother passed away, and we both experienced a loss. Now I got to be strong. What does that mean? I'm not supposed to grieve. I'm not supposed to cry, or I'm supposed to cry just a little bit, or am I supposed to wait 3 days before I cry?
Yeah.
Like, what does that
mean? A great question. I mean, my mother passed away last year, and
sorry to hear that, King.
No, thank you. And I think Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong, was trying.
Hard. That was the hardest. That was probably the hardest thing in our marriage that we ever had to deal with, because he is so strong.
Yeah, and it's hard for people to really read what I'm going through. So I think she was trying to navigate the best way she can to be strong for me, because I've always been strong for her. So I can kind of tell that she was not trying to be like, are you okay? Do you want to go out to eat? Like, what's going on in your mind? And because I knew that, I was accepting of it. And I was trying to just make sure that she was like, okay, I'm okay.
How did you process that?
Man,
just a year ago.
Processing the death or processing how Sandy handled it? You never...
Did you have a breakdown moment?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. Was she able to see it?
No, never seen it.
No.
Never seen it. A lady, and I thank God for this woman on this plane.
On the plane?
Reem met you said she was in her 70s maybe. She was flying.
Probably 60s, 70s. Yeah.
Flying to Florida to watch her grandchildren. And she's having a conversation with Reem. And Reem says he's always just trying to take a little nap. He's coming from weddings. The Uber driver always talking to him. Somebody on the plane always talking to him. And this woman just was having a conversation, and she went about talking about her grandkids take the bus, and she don't know why they take the bus. And she was like, did you take the bus as a child? And Reem said, no, that was one thing my mother did not want us to do. And he broke down.
Yeah, and it's like, it's the little things.
It was like the smallest thing that he remembered.
Yeah.
My mom made sure I never took the bus.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, she was like, oh man, you better go home and kiss your mom right now.
Said. That's what she said,
verbatim. Yeah. I'll never forget. She said, you better go home and kiss your mom right now. I was like, I
can't.
You got me. I can't right now. Yeah. And then like I said, it's the little things. Like I call my dad on his birthday and like, I'm like, what you doing today? And he'll go, I'm cooking an omelet today.
Her favorite food.
Her favorite food was me and her omelet. So I'm just making that for her right now. And I was like, Sandy, take the phone. I'm going to walk out right now. And
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
King to king. Why hasn't your wife saw that level of vulnerability? For you to say you just broke down. The lady on the plane saw it. You'll walk off and take a walk. What is it what have you been taught? What do you feel? You're using language that we've all been taught, be strong for her and all that. While she's going through what she goes through, you just went through the loss of the matriarch of your family, your mom. Why do you feel like she can't see that?
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing I've been taught. It's just kind of like you're like pre-wired as a man to be tough for a woman. And if you show that level of vulnerability, I don't know what it is that society has shaped us to be. It just makes us feel like we can't show that side of us. Like we can't. I always said that I'm never going to cry on camera. That was always my thing. Like I'm never going to show tears on camera. You think I'm going to sit here and have a camera record me and I have tears falling down my eyes? Nah, like I ain't got time for that, But
you said you're about to be a meme, huh?
Yeah, the more I've grown and the more I've realized, I'm like, no, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So I've shared with Sandy multiple times that, I've broken down. And
I think it's more than that. I think
and she's seen it now.
Reem has a Mr. Positivity thing that he's always had. Honestly, even his sister told him around the time that his mom was sick and was like, you're fake. You're too positive.
Yeah.
He's always been that way. And even with me, I'm always like, I show, and it's maybe because the way I was raised, I'm a woman. I'm very emotional. And Reem is always there for me to kind of like, okay, you got this. But for himself, he has to be Mr. Positive. He can't let things get in the way because he has a goal. And I think sometimes even if he has a moment where he's crying and all that stuff, like it could affect him more. He has this goal to be strong for us, our son, the business. Because when his mom passed away, that was the first time he couldn't attend a wedding. Like he had to
counsel.
He had to. We sent our team and everything, but they wanted him, and he realized
you can give me any reason. I'm still gonna be like,
I got.
I'm gonna come make it happen.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I was like,
he
nah.
went to a wedding immediately after the funeral. He got on a flight, but that was the same thing that made him so tough on himself because he spent a lot of time not seeing his mom because he was always traveling, and his mom never said she understood, and that she was his biggest fan. So I think even now he's like, I have to keep going for her.
Yeah.
But the same thing that you kept going for, you feel like, dang, I didn't get to see her. But he has this like just Mr. Positive, like Kareem didn't believe in depression when we met. He didn't believe in stress. He didn't believe.
He said he didn't believe in stress.
No, he didn't. He's like, I don't understand why you stressed. Don't you still gotta do it? Like I get like, oh wow.
He said, don't you still got to do it?
He doesn't show stress. He don't. You didn't believe in depression.
I thought stress was more of a choice, but like stress is something you actually feel.
Yeah.
But people don't. I thought it was a choice. Like you choosing to be stressed.
Remember the first time you felt stressed? You were like,
I was like, I think. What is this?
He said, I think I'm feeling.
Right.
He said, I think you're
stressed.
Like, He just didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how you don't believe in stress?
Right. Stress is a thing.
It's a natural thing. He's like, no, I have to do it. He goes, I have to do it.
Gray hair is coming. I think I'm stressed.
Everything's stressed. He's like, oh, guys, run out of gas.
Yeah,
stress.
My back hurting.
So I think the emotion goes hand in hand with him not feeling like something can stop him from. If he gets too sad, too emotional, then he probably can't get the edits out. He can't talk to this client. He can't play with his son. He can't do what to make our relationship. So I think it's more than just being a man and being strong. Like you literally don't want anything to mess up your focus on being positive and the example.
So many men deal with that, and that's why I believe that's why men die earlier than women. Because
remember I told you that?
Yeah. You're carrying all of that weight and they just don't have the place or don't feel like they have the grace to just be human.
Yeah.
Well, I think the most powerful thing that Jesus did, even in the Garden of Gethsemane, he showed fear. He said, Father, why have you forsaken me? And it said that he cried so hard and he sweated so hard that blood was in his sweat, was in his tears. When you are that afraid, where you're sweating and crying blood, it's a deep rooted fear and anguish. With men, we carry all of that, and then we have heart attacks, have strokes, and we pass away. This man is carrying the weight of his family. This man lost a child with you. This man lost his mother and be like, yep, but I still got to hold together. I got to be strong for you. And they'll be like, no, you can cry. It's okay. It's okay, because it's going to come out. It's going to come out on the airplane. It's going to come out with the Uber driver. You're going to come out with your daddy. You're going to walk down the street, and the sidewalk going to have your tears trailing in front of you as you begin to cry. It's going to come out. And so that's what I want, is for men to get the permission. I remember when I cried on the podcast one day, and a lot of men DM me, it's like, man, that right there touched me, bro. Yeah. They said, I remember one country reached out to me. I was in Jamaica. They said, the men in Jamaica never cry. Like, you do not cry. He's Jamaican. You Jamaican? Oh, well, dang. Yeah. There it is. End of the episode. There it is.
Dang it.
That's why. Gotcha.
Well, that's the answer I needed too.
There. Yeah. They're programmed to not be emotional like that. That's just how it is. And so they was telling me that I did my first retreat in Jamaica, and they was like, this one lady this girl, she would make the guys that she date watch the episodes, because she was like, I want to show them that they can be softer, they can be this, but they're programmed to be providers, take care of your family. Don't cry. There ain't nothing to cry about. Get yourself together and wipe your eyes. Matter of fact, when we were real young, even in America, and a lot of times they say, boys don't cry. You can fall off the monkey bars, land on your head, neck broke, and they don't you cry? You suck it up. You're like, my neck broke. Suck it up. Be like, suck it up. So you like, it's like that. It's like, how are you programmed not to cry when something hurts? It's just so, it goes against all humanity. And so we're training men not to be humans, but to be machines. And when you start operating as a machine, then you don't give space for your humanity. And now you're just a one emotion person. And then that person can show you anger, but can't show you hurt. That person can show you optimism and hope like Reem is, but he's like, I just lost my child too. Like, that's my child. I had dreams and ambitions and goals for this kid, and I lost a kid, and be like, be strong for her. Be like, no, you experienced a loss too. And so I want this episode to speak to men, to let them know that you have emotions for a reason. We still got tear ducts. They're there for a reason. They should work. I remember, and I'll conclude on this. My dad, I went to my grandma's funeral years ago, and I watched I've never seen my dad cry a day in his life. And he got up there on that thing, and he got up there to go speak, didn't shed a tear or whatever. And I asked him, I said, did you not like your mama? Like, what happened? How did you just not cry? He was just like, I just.
Yeah.
And I just said, wow. And I sat there and I said, this is interesting. And the one time I saw my dad cry was a few years later, when my sister, half sister, that's what you want to call it, but my sister through my dad in Houston, she was like, I always wanted to have Thanksgiving with our dad. I said, I'm gonna make that happen. So I forced my daddy, I coerced him, get in this car, we're gonna go here. And our family went down to have Thanksgiving. He was afraid that she didn't like him because he was not a part of her life. And as soon as he opened the door, she grabbed him and hugged him. He broke down crying and walked away and took that walk.
Yep.
And as men are programmed to go take that walk.
Yeah. You gotta walk away.
You gotta walk away.
Yep.
And then I asked him, he came back, I said, why'd you walk away? He said, I was just overcome with emotion. I just didn't want to. He said, I started crying. I had to walk away. I said, why can't you just stay there and cry?
Yeah.
Just stand there, be held by her and cry.
I know.
Yeah.
He was just like, I don't know.
But we've made progress. He's a lot better. To this day, I asked him, are you okay? Kobe passed away because Kobe... I was like, I just couldn't.
And she'll be like,
randomly,
do you want to cry?
And I'm like, if you,
well, you know,
if
not
he
right now, but
cried
if I
for
do,
Kobe,
I'll keep you posted.
I'll keep you
no,
posted.
Like, hey, look,
Kobe,
I'm about to cry right now.
I'm about to cry at 6:30.
Yeah, I got you.
Till his ass, so I'm like, you good? Like, Kobe's not here. Like,
Yeah,
good.
because
Like,
Kobe's my favorite player.
Yeah.
You know, right? You know, because when he died, I cried.
You did?
Yeah.
By yourself? Or was somebody
Yeah,
present?
by myself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why?
He said she still asks you that. She said,
yeah, she's like, do you want to
I
cry?
still do.
Like, you want
I
to?
still do. Yeah. So I knew, like, his. I'll definitely say that is definitely one of the things that have been one of the only challenges was the passing of his mom and working through those emotions with him, just him knowing I'm here, but also giving him the space. And I'm also honestly very thankful for that woman that asked him that question on the plane.
Yeah, because it broke something.
And he told me about it, and it made him realize like the little things. Like this is going to be a journey of grief.
It's a journey.
And I lost my dad 13 years ago, and we spoke about it I talk to him all the time about my dad. We're trying to just so he can have a piece, know a little bit about my dad, because my dad reminds me a lot of him. So.
Or he reminds you a lot about your dad.
He reminds me a lot lot about my dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that cool though?
Yeah.
How omniscient God is, how all knowing He is, that He'll say, here it is.
Yes.
And you'll look back and be like, Dad, God, you got me. My father got me. My Heavenly Father got me because He blessed me with a husband that can cover me, sound like, may have similar characteristics and traits as my father. And that's how awesome God is. How can we support you? What are your social media handles? And as we conclude.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow us at Photos by Reem on Instagram, reemphotography.com is our website. And
do you have any personal social medias?
Yeah.
Yes, my personal social media is the Sandy Virgo.
And my personal is Kareem Virgo.
And so I want y'all to DM them. Definitely DM Sandy. A lot of women that are going through this journey of IVF or feeling the loss of a child, and let her know that you resonated with her story. Show love, follow those that are getting married. You have these monumentous occasions. Reach out to Ring Photography, book them. They are the best. Go look on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will blow your mind about how much detail they put behind their work, and it's first class. I mean, top-notch photography, top-notch videography, top-notch storytelling. And y'all know I'm a storyteller, and so I admire people who know how to capture storytelling via photography or videography, and Ring Photography is exactly that.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Listen, thank y'all for blessing the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I was expecting this to only be an hour. Rihanna, where are we at? About 2 hours? 141.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 141. So we was chopping it up. So
Yeah, we're chopping it up.
This was powerful. Anything I'd like to say before we conclude?
No, we love what you're doing. Keep doing it. We're so blessed and to be sitting on the yellow couch.
Yes.
And you're going to keep touching so many people. So, I mean, you already have, but it's just going to keep going, especially with your wife.
Yeah, she's going to be my co-host.
Yes.
Wow.
I cannot wait.
Is that like breaking news right now?
Yeah, no, I've been telling him. I told him.
Oh,
she's gonna be my co-host.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yes.
I said that in my Essence article when they did a story about my engagement. I said she's going to be my co-host.
Yes,
Oh, man.
yes.
That's amazing.
January the 1st, season 11.
Wow.
Yeah. And listen, am I going to say it to people? I'll let them know. The picture that you'll probably take at the wedding will be the thumbnail that's on our banner, YouTube banner, and on the graphics for the thumbnails for each episode or whatever. So
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
No pressure though. No
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah. No
That's
pressure
crazy.
at all. No pressure.
I mean, honestly, I'm just thankful that we're here. Like I said, I can't believe that this is happening. And it just aligns perfectly with what we do, because what we do is capture love, right? And you get to sit here and talk to different couples and learn about their love story. So I just feel like it's just a full circle moment. So
It is. That's how intentional God is.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Y'all give it up for the Virgos, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Stay tuned to the end for a letter to my future wifey.
Been writing these love letters to you.
Ladarian, thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While Ladarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, Ladarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical context, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm Lateris Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today. This episode was phenomenal. I love how the Virgos, went there. Talked about the complexities of childbirth, their journey of faith, their moments of doubt. I love that Reem talked about how men aren't really taught or feel like they have a safe space to share their fears, hurt, sorrows, and we just need to unlearn some of those things. Well, here's my favorite part of the podcast where I speak to my future wifey. Dear future wifey, before I ever meet the child we will raise, I already bless the place where they will be formed, your womb. I speak life over it now. May it be a sanctuary of miracles, a sacred garden where God plants the seeds of our love and brings forth fruit in His perfect timing. I pray your womb will never know the sorrow of barrenness. but only the joy of divine conception. May it be covered by the same God who opened Sarah's, strengthened Hannah's, and blessed Elizabeth's. I believe that when heaven breathes on your womb, legacy will be birthed. Children who will carry our name, our prayers, and our purpose into generations we will never see. And if the Lord chooses that our legacy won't come through biology, but through adoption or spiritual sons and daughters, then still may your womb be blessed, not only as a vessel of life, but as a vessel of love. For motherhood is not only in the bearing of children, but in the nurturing of souls. So I honor your body as holy ground, and I honor your womb as a covenant promise. Together, we will trust the Lord to bless it accordingly to his will. For from you will flow more than children. From you will flow nations, visions, and destiny. Your future hubby.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving. Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.